Today I'm watching Are You Afraid of the Dark Season 1 Episode 6. The previous episode was about these cousins, and one of the girls, Pam, was possessed by the ghost of her aunt, and they definitely seem to be sticking more with ghost stories for the anthology, which is fine by me. But yeah, I'm still curious to see if other, supernatural elements will come into play, and, this concept of the Midnight Society I really like, and I'm hoping we learn more about the characters, in that society, as we have them basically at the start and at the end of the episode. So yeah, it's interesting format for a show because you would think, they would be the main characters, but obviously with an anthology, we have different stories and different, characters in each episode. I never watched this when I was younger. I was way too scared. I'm also watching Goosebumps. You can check out those reaction videos as well. I definitely find some episodes scarier than others, and it's interesting to see this concept, of the kids trying to one-up each other and scare each other, and pranks, and like all the ways that they're trying to, emulate the scariness that they tell in their stories, and this, matter of pride of who can tell the scariest story. I'm really enjoying the series so far, so thank you so much for sharing and this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. It's a ghost! Oh, the pranks. Kid just wants to read his book. All I could think of, man, these kids clearly don't have phones, because obviously everybody would be on their phone if they were just bored, but it's the 90s.
Excellent, Chris. It is time to begin my tale. So what's the get-up?
Staying in character, okay.
Geek, I'm doing this for effect.
She's like theatrics, it's all about the details.
But I'm here to tell the one true version.
They're like, you're nuts, man. Just sit down.
With a midnight dust.
And she's got her corsage and everything. I hope that wasn't a clown laughing. Oh, God. It's never a good sign if you hear laughing in the graveyard. Yeah, I'd be getting the heck out of there real quick. No need to stick around and investigate. They're coming to get you, Barbara.
We're not ghosts. Relax.
Then again, maybe we are. Ever seen Night of the Living Dead?
That's what I was just talking about.
Forget Halloween, my dear. Saturday night's prom night.
So he thought he'd go to the graveyard and pick up some girls? What?
I used to. I'm just visiting.
Oh, well, it's an old story. They say that...
Oh, let me tell it. I tell it best.
Why does this guy have like a radio announcer voice?
Girl was waiting here by the gates for a date to pick her up. She was all set to go.
Again, who hangs out at the graveyard on prom?
A couple of days later, they buried her in her prom dress.
That's grim. That's a grim tale. Oh my god, this guy's way too excited.
Thinks you're a babe.
Oh, what's wrong with you?
Sure, why not? Sounds kind of creepy.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's one way to put it for sure.
Ghost hunting boys and ghouls.
Oh god, I love a good pun, but that was too much. When it said prom, I was like, is this gonna be like a Carrie type of episode? Like, are we gonna do something horrible like that? I love Carrie, I just mean what happened to her was horrible. But this is the first time I think we've had people without like a pre-existing relationship. Like, those two guys are friends, obviously, but just meeting random strangers.
They went to the town library to scan old newspapers on microfilm.
Oh, I love that thing. I don't know, yeah, I've seen it in movies and stuff before. It's so cool.
For any article on a young girl in a fatal car accident.
Probably wildly impractical, but still, it looks like a cool prop.
56.
Well, stop. Read that.
My favorite part of movies is when they go to the library to do research. Oh, shoot.
What happened? He got so upset that he drove his car, a 1955 Chevy, off the Mianus River Bridge.
Oh my god, that's graphic.
Would you children like some tea?
That one guy rolled his eyes so hard.
Right?
Yeah, so?
So, we just read that Ricky never picked her up because he didn't know he was supposed to.
Rudy!
Lack of communication gets you every time.
I'm saying we try to contact Ricky's spirit and tell him to pick her up.
Yeah, like a seance. Cool, this is getting better all the time.
The fake band in the background, no music is coming from them at all.
It's kind of fun, though. What do you say?
I say that you're kind of a strange person.
I think that's a fair assessment, yes. Oh my. It's interesting to have them like researching this urban legend and yet trying to like help this ghost.
Why can't we just do this right here?
Because this isn't where it happened.
And I think this is one of the first ones we've had with like older kids, like older teenagers as opposed to younger kids as well.
Going onto the bridge. Ricky's behind the wheel, and he's very upset because of Judy.
Hey, you're pretty good at this.
Yeah, she's really getting into this considering she just met these guys and is now like, yo, you know what? Let's do a seance.
Water for years and years. Ricky's inside.
What was that?
Fish fart or
You
ghost?
hear us, Ricky?
What was that?
Bubbles from a fish?
She's still waiting for you. She wants you to pick her up.
This is stupid.
They're summoning one ghost to go pick up another ghost Uber. You're like, buddy, she's still waiting for you. It's been 50 years. It's gonna be one heck of a ride, man. It's like you have some unfinished business you need to attend to, buddy. Oh my god. That's a lot of angry ghost bubbles.
What happened?
I don't know, maybe he ran out of gas.
Ha
I don't know what it was, but it was no ghost.
How do you know?
Because there are no ghosts. Ghosts aren't real.
There's always one skeptic in the crowd.
Graveyard? Prom night? Be there if you dare.
This guy sounds like he's narrating like his own show within the show.
Cemetery records. Found the name. Judy Larson.
I appreciate her commitment to this act with this getup.
You don't really believe all this stuff, do you?
You just had this conversation.
Does the legend say when she's coming? It's getting cold.
Are ghosts known to be punctual? Like, what, you want, like, 12:01?
Oh, the ghost. Huh? Look.
Woo! Ghost sounds.
It's her. Oh, man, it's her.
She doesn't look like she's dressed for prom, though. I don't think that's her.
Ghosts.
But last night,
Give me a break. You really think there was a ghost car driving underwater? Hello, anybody up there?
Greg,
What?
look.
Ghost car, your ride is here.
What's that?
It looks like a 1950s Chevy to me.
Greg, I swear I don't know who it is.
That's gotta be Ricky. Yeah, you ready for prom? Oh my, is she gonna pretend to be Judy?
Dee Dee? What are you doing?
Oh, Dee Dee was Judy. Aww. Wasn't expecting that.
Brought me with them. And then you solved the mystery of why Ricky never picked me up and got him to come.
And that's why she wanted to help the ghost, because she was the ghost. Good twist. He is also the one that killed you, though, so let's keep that in mind too. Like, we couldn't pay with an actor to speak, so he just gets the thumbs up, budget cuts. And they drive off into the ghost night. Oh my gosh. They're like, what the heck just happened here? Okay. Yeah, I knew it was gonna like cut through the gate. Yeah. Oh man. So it's my first time watching Are You Afraid of the Dark season 1 episode 6. The title made me think of Carrie, the horror movie. I was thinking, okay, somebody's gonna go to prom and something horrible is gonna happen to them, or somebody died at prom, something like that, like a ghost based around the event of prom. But we never like step foot in the gymnasium. Like, there's nothing like that. Obviously, we find out prom is still very much involved, and this ghost unfortunately happened while they were on their way or waiting to go to prom. So yeah, that was interesting. And like I said, one of the first times we've seen kind of older teenagers, like I'm assuming they were 16, 17, something like that, like nearing the end of high school, whereas in previous episodes I felt like they've been 13, 14, somewhere around that age range. So that was interesting. And obviously, we know now with the ending, with Judy being Dee Dee, Dee Dee being Judy, I definitely wasn't expecting that. So I thought that was a great ending. And I was wondering, where they were going to go with this. And it does make sense because we don't really know anything about her character. But that also didn't seem out of place because, it's a short episode. They don't spend 45 minutes talking about each character's backstory. So for her just to be in the cemetery didn't seem odd. And the thing that was kind of, a little bit strange was that this was the first episode I've seen where they didn't have a pre-existing relationship. Like, obviously Jam and Greg, knew each other, but they didn't know Dee Dee. And usually it's like brothers or cousins or friends. Like, this was a complete stranger that they had met. So yeah, obviously it makes sense now why she would be a complete stranger. But you're like, okay, like this is just, a different episode. They're trying new things because we've seen different formats throughout the episode. So I was like, okay, this is something different. And when we first see Judy, she's putting something at a grave, but we don't see kind of whose grave it is. And the fact that she needed these guys to help her makes more sense why she was so willing to kind of just go along with strangers that she just met. And she's like, yes, like she needed them to help her solve the mystery of why, Ricky wasn't there. And I like how they kind of got around that loophole of ghosts where it's usually they can't leave the place of where they died. Like, that's kind of their haunting area and they can't leave. They're kind of stuck there. But, she says, like, I needed you guys to, take me with you, basically, so that she could go find out what happened. And she doesn't know about this newspaper thing because obviously it was 1956 when this happened. She might not be aware of, I don't even want to say technology because even that has been replaced now. But at the time, that's what they were using. And the fact that she, needed them to find out, okay, sees the article, and even the guys like, okay, is this true? Like, is this urban legend, real? And now it makes sense why Greg was so adamant on asking her, like, do you believe in ghosts? Like, he asked her like several times throughout the episode. And the irony of that is obviously because she is a ghost and he's asking ghosts if, they believe in themselves, I guess. But Ricky also killed Judy. Like, he says that he just left the scene of the crime, but maybe he didn't know he committed a crime at the same time. Like, it said he might have been, drinking in the article, and that he took the corner too wide and he hit her. And I mean, I feel like that'd be a pretty hard thing not to notice, and he just drives away and basically leaves her there. And then she's like waiting this whole time for him to come get her. And I was like, okay, I think it would have been slightly more interesting if it was like revenge on Ricky, because again, he runs her over and kills her and just leaves her there. And then she spends the next like 40 years trying to finally get a ride from him, and he shows up, and I like that they didn't even give him any lines. He just gave a thumbs up like, yeah, it's me, Ghost Ricky. Remember from the lake with the bubbles? Yeah, that's me. So, and the concept of getting a ghost to help another ghost, and obviously at the time we didn't know Judy was the ghost, but this character who's like, let's help them instead of like running away from them or trying to avoid them or having some negative interaction with them. Judy's character, obviously now as we know, wanted to help these ghosts, and the guys were like, okay, they were willing to figure out what was going on. And like I said, my favorite part of any episode is when they go do the research. They go to the library. I'm forgetting what those machines are called, but I've seen them in so many movies and I love them, just when they scroll through the old newspapers. And obviously that's why, Judy was so into doing the seance at the boat. She was like so comfortable with these supernatural things because, it sounds like she's been visiting this graveyard once a year on this day as a ghost and has been trying for so long to finally have a way out. And much like our previous episode as well, this ghost just wants to be free. Like, it's kind of trapped in this unhappy place, this unresolved issues. And same with Ricky, he was so distraught over this that he drove his car off the bridge, and that's horrible also. And so his ghost kind of gets some resolution, and the two of them drive through the gate. It wasn't the most seamless transition, but I don't care. And they kind of get this happy ending for the two of them. And yeah, just the twist I was in no way expecting. That was great. And we've obviously had, stories about ghosts before in the show, but this I think was the first time we had like a main character who, obviously the setup the whole time is that we think she is a regular human because none of the telltale signs of ghosts, were there. And even when Ricky shows up at the end, he's not showing up as an apparition. Like, it was a slightly low opacity on the image, but even that wasn't anything crazy. Like, they obviously used real people and didn't try and make it look crazy with effects because probably budget, and I think it would have looked really dated if they had. So I'm glad they didn't. And the only real signifying note is obviously Judy, kind of takes her hair down, and I'm like, okay, is she gonna pretend to be Judy to like talk to this ghost to kind of get more information? And she obviously wasn't worried when he pulled up. She's been waiting for this moment. She wasn't scared or anything like that. And then, she does her spin transition and she's dressed in her prom outfit. This was the second story in a row for Kristen, and I love that she, showed up dressed up as this ghost, and maybe was trying to prank everybody, maybe just wanted to have the spooky element, but she was definitely in character. From the moment she walked up, she had the veil on for the whole time, takes it off at the end basically, but just performs, delivers the story as a performance instead of just, sitting there and talking into the fire. She's acting it out a little bit more. She's got, hand movements and is dressed up obviously to help convey this story about the ghost. Overall, I thought it was a great episode, probably one of my favorites that I've seen so far. That twist, definitely wasn't expecting that. I know Goosebumps episodes have a pretty big twist at the end usually, so it was nice to see that. And sometimes it feels very predictable. This I didn't see coming, and obviously looking back, the signs are there, but I think they did a great job with this episode. So thank you so much for sharing and this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. And she's got her corsage and everything. If you hear laughing in the graveyard. So you thought he'd go to the graveyard and pick up some girls? What? Fish fart or ghost? They're summoning one ghost to go pick up another? And that's why she wanted to help the ghost, because she was the ghost. Good twist.